Okay, tonight's lesson is starting with chapter 20, and we're just going to do section A in chapter 20 tonight. This should be a pretty short lesson. I should let you know, though, I am again at the ballpark in Sunnyside, but have banned my husband from the car. In fact, when he got here tonight, he asked me if I was going to work on a flipped lesson, and I said yes, and he said, "Good, I've got my Little Debbie cake snack ready to unwrap during the lesson." And so I quickly banned him. So, tonight we're going to be looking at a variety of things. We're going to be looking at behavior and tissues, body cavities, and organ systems, just as an introduction. The 4 different types of behavior that your book talks about are innate, and these are mainly dealing with instincts. And with humans, it's really difficult to determine which of our behaviors are truly innate. Instincts are a complex reaction to various stimuli and account for much of the behavior of vertebrates. So if I had to pinpoint a specific behavior that's innate, you might think, well, emotions like love are innate, but those are love found in relationships are also learned and take intelligence. Caring for our young, sadly, not all parents have that innate ability or desire to care for their young. So I would say that it's close to instincts, but it's really hard to determine because they're overshadowed by some of the other types of behavior. Learned behavior, these are things like crawling and walking. A person can learn those things on their own. Intelligent behavior requires more reason and problem solving. Things like cause and effect and relationships between objects, adding value to things. That's intelligent behavior. Then the last one is spiritual. This is more of a moral accountability, an awareness that death does exist, and that's not the case for all mammals. That's unique with spiritual beings, men created in the image of God. Man created in the image of God. Okay, there are some anatomical terms that I want you to know, and I really had intended on there going a video right in this spot here. Now that I'm recording, I'm realizing that I left that video off, so you get a reprieve from that tonight. But what I would like for you to do is to study these terms that are found on page 627. Again, that's page 627. We're going to do a little activity with that tomorrow in class so you can kind of learn these definitions a little bit better. But why don't you take a look at those before you come to class tomorrow. Okay. Also, your book talks about tissues. Histology is the microscopic study of tissues, and a tissue is a group of similar cells that work together to perform a specific or similar function. Most of the tissues that are in your body are vascular. That means that blood vessels run through them. And there are 4 different types of tissues that we're going to talk about in this chapter. We're going to talk about connective tissue, epithelial tissue, muscle tissue, and nervous tissue. And this is just another picture here of what these look like. You've got these 4 right here, then you've got some right here as well. And we're going to be looking at these a little bit more closely in tomorrow's activity. Now, connective tissue, this includes bones, blood, lymph, tendons, fat, cartilage, and the most abundant and diverse of the 4 tissue types in the human body. These are supportive. They connect and protect other structures in the body. Those. These are your connective tissue. Connective tissue are going to include cartilage, bone, that's blood, cartilage, bone, adipose, this is your fat tissue, connective tissue, and all of this right here are all different types of connective tissue. Okay, the second type is epithelial tissues. These consist of layers of cells that cover or line the external surfaces, as well as some internal surfaces, such as the various organs and the blood vessels. And this is just a picture of a variety of different types of epithelial tissues. Again, these are mainly lining. For example, the respiratory tract is lined with epithelial cells that trap and remove any foreign subjects. So these are more lining types of tissue. Then you have the nervous tissue. These cells receive and transmit impulses from muscles and glands and other type of nerve cells. It does include the brain and spinal cord and other nerves throughout the body. The nervous tissue coordinates muscular movements, interprets sensations received from the environment, and controls your thought processes and your emotions. And this right here is just a picture of what nervous tissues look like under the microscope. Muscular tissue. There are 3 different types of muscular tissue. There are skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. The skeletal muscles move the body, arms, legs, and face. The smooth muscles perform functions that are not controlled voluntarily, such as moving food through the digestive system. And then the 3rd type, the cardiac, these are found only in the heart and pump blood throughout the body. And you can just kind of see what they look like, how they're designed here in this picture. Okay, then you have several different cavities or spaces that contain your major internal organs. These cavities protect and cushion organs from injuries such as jumping and running or any kind of trauma. The first one that I want to talk about is the cranial cavity. This houses the brain. And then you have the spinal cavity. In this picture, it's called the vertebral cavity, but this is also known as the spinal cavity. And that surrounds the spinal cord. Okay, now the trunk of the body, right here, the trunk of the body has 2 large cavities that's separated by the diaphragm. The top or superior, if you looked at your anatomical terms, the superior cavity is called the thoracic cavity. That's this top part right up here, the thoracic cavity. And it contains the heart, respiratory organs, and the esophagus. Then you have the abdominal cavity, this one down here, this kind of pink color. The abdominal cavity is the inferior cavity, and it contains digestive, reproductive, and excretory organs. And then the pelvic cavity down here, that's just really a lower portion of the abdominal cavity. Okay, after we cover the introduction, we are going to go over all of the human body systems, the human organ systems individually. But here is just a quick kind of preview of all 10. The very first one, right here, it's called morphology, but I kind of like to use that picture as the integumentary, which is covering. That's the skin. We're going to be talking a lot about the skin, hair, and nails when we talk about the integumentary system. The next one is skeletal. This is more for support of movement. This is all about the bones and the cartilage and the joints. Then the muscular system. This is also support of movement. This is all about your muscles. And then the nervous system. The nervous system is about control. This is where we're going to look at the brain, the spinal cord, your eyes, ears, all of your senses, taste, auditory, and olfactory. Then moving on down the system, we have the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is dealing with internal transport. This system helps protect you against disease. The organs that are in this system are your spleen, your lymphatic glands, your tonsils, and things like that. Okay, then we have your circulatory system. Here it's labeled cardiovascular system. But this is all about your heart, arteries, veins, and capillaries. Then we have the respiratory system. This is dealing with incoming substances, your nose, throat, trachea, bronchi, and lungs. Then the digestive system. This is also dealing with incoming substances, your mouth, teeth, tongue, stomach, intestines, pancreas, liver, and gallbladder are all found in this one. The urinary system or the excretory system. This is dealing with eliminating waste, maintaining water balance. The organs in this system are your kidneys, your ureters, urinary bladder, and urethra. Then the next to the last one is the reproductive system. This is all dealing with producing offspring. Here we have ovaries, fallopian tubes, uterus, testes, and the prostate gland. And then finally, the endocrine system. The endocrine system is also dealing with control, and this regulates bodily functions. We're dealing with hormones, your pituitary gland, your thyroid, adrenal gland, and again, your pancreas. So this is just a general overview. I know this lesson didn't take very long at all. It will be my hope to have a Google Doc up tonight, but if you don't get a remind text from me on it, then we will just call this an easy night of listening to the video. I'm probably going to check the views, so make sure that you do view it. I may give you a pop quiz tomorrow. We will do some way to check that you actually did listen to the notes or watch the video and jot down a few notes. And so we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll do some type of fun activity dealing with all of this new introductory information. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.